Welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host Scotty McCoy, and boy do I have a surprise for all of you. I have on Zoom with me right now Daniel Lund, and he played cult member Danny in The Cult of Blood, Vlogger 5 in the Hag Witch, and he's going to also be a part of my upcoming indie horror film with me and Carl Miller with Gravestone Films called 72. Hey Daniel, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad that we could make this happen and know that you got a perk, which allowed you to be part of Slasher Scotty, of course. And I'm glad that we can make this happen and promote some, promote 72, of course, and some other indie films that you've been a part of.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited about it.
Yes, I'm excited about having you as well. This is really exciting. So the first question I do got for you is, how did you get your start in the indie horror community?
That's actually a really strange thing that happened. I just posted some stuff on Twitter and Facebook. It's always been a dream of mine to see myself die in a horror movie.
Right.
It's really strange, but I've always been a horror fanatic, and being able to see myself, it's always just been a dream to be able to see myself on screen and die, which is morbid, but it's a cool thing. I haven't seen myself yet die on screen, but in Cult of Blood, I did film my first death scene, so that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And that's in post production now, so hopefully we'll see that soon.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I love dying. I was told that I die better on screen than I do delivering dialogue.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, that might be a strange compliment, but I'll take it.
Yeah, we all excel in our things.
Absolutely. I think that's really cool though, and it really is a fun thing. Like a lot of people say that it's really weird to fake die, but it's also a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's I don't know if there's an art to it or not, but I haven't mastered it. But it's just practicing in the mirror. Your death
space. Absolutely. It's one of those things, like, I know, like, and I'm sure a lot of indie horror films do this. I know we do it a lot before the pandemic, of course, is when we would have executive meetings with, my executive team, and we'd go, to public places and that. And usually we'd meet up at McDonald's because it's usually in between all of the executives, like right in that middle ground. And it's weird because we'd be talking about, okay, how are we going to kill Amy today? How about we stab her in the heart with a knife? And then all these old people are, drinking their coffee, looking at us like we're in a movie. I swear to God, we're not actually trying to stab Amy in the heart with a knife. It's really interesting. It's a unique art form being in a part of a horror movie. It really is.
Yeah, I'm such a big fan of horror, and just the art behind it. I've always had the opinion where sometimes even the worst horror movie is better than some of the best non-horror movies.
Absolutely. So speaking of horror movies, like, what is your favorite horror film and why? Like, what got you into the industry?
Well, my favorite horror film is it's kind of cliche, but Jaws. Jaws is just one of those movies you can put on and listen to, or sit down and watch anytime and find something to love about it. Whether it's the cinematography, the music, the acting it's just top notch, and something you don't see that type of acting in a lot of movies nowadays. It's Robert Shaw and Rob Schneider. I'm gonna say Roy Schneider. It's really, they're just so good, and that movie's just perfect to me. Really? I have a lot of other ones, but that's the one I seem to keep going back to.
Nice. That's awesome. I know the Halloween marathon was actually on AMC. It was like a marathon this past weekend because I call it half-a-ween, but it's the halfway to Halloween.
Yeah, halfway to Halloween. Yeah.
So I love Halloween. I'm really excited for Halloween this year, especially because hopefully the pandemic will be kind of lifted to more, especially with the vaccines rolling out. So that'll be so much fun.
Yeah, last year Halloween was so weird. Like you could go out, but you can't go out. You could do this, but you can't necessarily do this. Mm-hmm. With kids, it was rough.
Yeah, it was, and it's one of those things. Like to me, like I love Halloween. I love having I had a little Halloween party at my place, nothing big, but it just it was one of those things. Like it didn't even feel like Halloween. Like I'm watching AMC Fear Fest, and I'm celebrating Halloween, but it didn't feel like Halloween because of the pandemic. Like I couldn't go to any of the harvest festivals I like to do. Like just stuff like that, was all limited and canceled because of the pandemic. And I'm thinking this year it'll be more opened up because everything is starting to open up and the vaccines are rolling out. So hopefully things
Yeah,
will be open up more.
I love going to the haunted houses too. So I'm hoping a lot more of those just kind of
Yes,
pop open. And it
absolutely.
was an experience I really missed doing last year.
Absolutely. It really is something great. Like it's something that, I mean, it's part of the season, and not having that, as you know, having that taken away for that season really just devalues the season that you're in general, like as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how did you become part of Cult of Blood?
Uh, that was one of those that I just kind of found the campaign and I fell in love with it. I'm a huge fan of Dave Sheridan and Felissa Rose.
Yeah.
Dave Sheridan is just, he's an amazing actor, and Felissa Rose is such a sweetheart. I met her at a con, and she's just amazing. And of course, the opportunity fell when I looked at the campaign. The opportunity just fell there, and I just signed up and we went for it.
Awesome. That's great. What about the Hag Witch?
The Hag Witch, that was uh, I knew about that one before the campaign happened. I'm a huge fan of the lore behind the Hag Witch. A Hag Witch is kind of like a demon that sits on your chest. It's kind of like a paralysis demon in a way, and you haven't really seen that too much in movies, and so the name Hag Witch kind of grabbed me. So then I talked with the director, and then shortly thereafter they started a campaign, and I've been following. This is their second campaign that's running now, and I've just kind of been going along with that and promoting it and following along with their journey.
Absolutely. Yeah, I interviewed Sam and Jonna, and they're really nice people.
Oh, they are so awesome. They've become good friends. I really like them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, they just so anybody listening to this interview, if you want to hear more about the Hag Witch, which Daniel is obviously a part of, go and listen to the interview with Sam and Jonna, because that is really a really good interview. We got really in depth with the film itself, and it'll really show you what that's about. And obviously Daniel is a part of it as well, so you could definitely see him in the movie as well when it releases. So that I'm really excited for that one. I actually donated to that as well, so you can find the Indiegogo.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be terrifying.
Yeah,
in a good way. In a good way.
In a good way, but definitely. So I'm assuming you'll be on set for both of those films.
Well, we wrapped production for, we wrapped filming for Cult of Blood already, and it's in post-production. It should be out, I would think, relatively soon. Okay. It's been in post-production for a little while now. I'm not really sure the whole process of post-production, how far it has to go before it reaches a screen of some sort, but I'm really excited for people to see that one. I think they're going to get a kick out of it. It's a nice horror comedy. The Hag Witch, I won't be on set for, but I have a lot of green screen moments in that. Haven't really got the script to that one yet, but I'm really excited to be a part of that one as well.
Awesome. So how did you find out about our 72 campaign?
I actually found out from Sam Hodge himself. He shared something on Facebook when there was a casting call for it. And I looked into it, fell in love with the story because, I mean, it's relevant. It's something that's kind of terrifying right now, just viruses in general. Yeah. And I think it's a cool concept. And I waited for the campaign to pop up and jumped on it as soon as I could.
Awesome. Yeah, and I know a lot of people like a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon of a pandemic or deadly virus, and obviously what it relates to. So we wanted to differentiate ourselves. So what we did is we ended up including the virus, but that's not our main antagonist. Like we have other aspects of it, like how people are going crazy during this virus.
Yeah.
Different things like that. And we had like a really cool perk that a lot of places that I've seen didn't have as a perk, and that would name the virus after you. For $100, the virus will be named after you. Like, that was really cool. And that was the first perk we sold, and we sold it after like 10 minutes of launching.
Oh wow, the Steve virus.
Really
no, I'm kidding. But no, it's very. I think it's going to be a good one because it's I think it is. Even if there's more to it, just a virus in general is pretty scary nowadays. Even especially with all the new mutations you're hearing about. So and little pop that you're hearing about in different countries. So it's think it's kind of cool that something like this is happening, and I definitely wanted to be a part of it.
Absolutely, and I know Carl. He's writing it, directing it, and he's doing amazing with the script. Like we're in like our fifth rewrite, and we start filming in July. But we're trying to add
Oh,
in
wow.
all the Indiegogo stuff. You know, people that are buying the perks for the Indiegogo, we're trying to add that into the script and make that work. And then we have one ending. We're like, oh, we want to end it this way now. We're changing the ending to that, and we're changing characters' last names. Like we're doing so many things because of the Indiegogo campaign. It's easier to make these little changes than add a whole new character into the mix with that name, or a whole new I don't know, like something else added to it. Like there's just things that we're thinking of that we're adding in while the Indiegogo is going on, because the Indiegogo wraps in June, so early June. We film in early July, roughly, give or take. But yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what everybody thinks about this, because it's really going to be scary crazy. Like it's really heavy on SFX, like the special effects, and not even, I mean, definitely special effects makeup, but more of special practical effects are going to be a big part of it. So like,
and that's awesome. I'm a huge fan of practical effects, prosthetics, just the art behind it all. It's all so awesome.
Yeah, that's like for anybody that wants to donate to our Indiegogo campaign, please do. But just know a lot of that money, like probably I would say 80% of it. And I have a meeting with Carl tonight to discuss what we're going to really like, what amounts are going to go to what parts, or what percentages or whatever are going to go to what we're going to pay for. But like I would say roughly, without having the meeting, 80% of the funds are going to probably go to SPFX and SFX, because it's very heavily in SFX. Like me and Carl were talking about it, and if the acting isn't good and if the special effects isn't good, our movie's not going to be good, because those are the two primary things that's going to make this movie good and believable. Like we had our first movie, Sound. It wasn't that good, but it was more of a horror comedy, more of a campy, cheesy one. So it really didn't affect it as much. Whereas this one is more of a serious, serious horror, serious suspense, serious drama. So the SFX and the acting and like the story itself has got to be believable. Like it's got to be good.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see how it all comes together.
Absolutely, I am too. So, what are you excited most about regarding 72?
Actually, as I said, just what I was saying, since it is kind of a relevant topic, yes, it's a mutated virus, but I think that's something that scares everybody right now. Yeah. And I think being able to be a part of something that is relevant and scary is a really cool prospect.
Absolutely. And the thing is, we like, one thing that a lot of people in the indie horror community, if they're listening to this, they should know, and if they don't already know, they should know this, is that we have some pretty big indie horror film actors involved. We have DJ Patton, who's got a pretty big role in the movie. We got Angel Bradford as one of our main cast members.
I love her.
Yeah, she's gonna be great, and we would like her to do SPFX, SF, whatever, special effects, practical, and that. But we don't want her to really overbound herself. We want her to focus more on her acting over the other stuff. Now, maybe we will, who knows? Like we're still mulling it over at this point. But over what we're gonna do with the special effects. But she's gonna be involved as one of our main roles, Rachel. And then, of course, we have, like I said, DJ Patton's going to be playing a nice villain, a very evil role. That's going to be fun. Nice. I don't know if you know about him. He's in quite a couple of things. He's in Phobias. He was in, I believe it was Summer Camp Massacre or Bloody Summer Camp, something like that. He was in. His name was Chris Ridings. So he was on my show for Phobia. So he'll be involved as one of the evil villains. Like it's going to be pretty good. We have Michael Taylor involved. He is our assistant director, and he is also playing one of the main characters, Rich. So yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see this cast that we didn't have last movie that we're going to have involved, that actually brings something to the indie horror film that a lot of people know about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if there was a male actor and a female actress, one of each, that you could choose to work with, who would it be and why?
Oh man, that's an easy one. Jeffrey Combs and Samara Weaving. Nice. Jeffrey Combs just owns everything. He steals the scene. He's such a good actor. You could read a phone book and it can hold your attention. I think I've watched everything Jeffrey Combs has done film wise. I know he's done a lot of more stuff, voiceover work and stuff, and I haven't really gone too far into that yet. But I'm just astonished by every time he walks on screen what he can do. And Samara Weaving, exactly the same. I know she's relatively new, from Ash vs. the Evil Dead to Ready or Not, but she's the exact same way. She walks on screen and you're just captivated. She's just perfect in the way she delivers things, and I really am excited to see what else she can do.
Absolutely, she was great in Ready or Not. Oh my God, that movie was.
Oh man, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. That The Babysitter and The Babysitter 2, which are on Netflix. Great movies.
Nice. And just to let everybody know, if you really like campy, cheesy, bad, but bad in a good way, indie horror films, check out I sent a shout out to my company CEO Amanda Sawyer for this one. She told me about this. Was it yesterday or the day before? Killer Sofa is on Tubi.
Oh my God, I had that in my queue, and I'm really excited to watch that. It's such a weird looking premise, but man, I'm excited to see that one actually.
I would love to see that. I know there was. Are you a professional wrestling fan?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, I've gotten back into it lately, but go ahead. Let's see what you got.
So I don't know if this is legit or if this was a fan made thing. I'm thinking it was legit because it looked real, like really good. But there was an indie horror film by WWE Studios coming out called Tables, which has Ronda Rousey and the Dudley Boys in it, and the killers are like alive tables, and they walk on their their little table legs, and yeah.
The tables get revenge on the Dudley Boys for so many times.
And Ronda Rousey's like the main final girl.
Oh my God.
No, I don't know how real that is, but after this is over, I will send you the link to that trailer.
Yeah, even if it's a fake trailer, I'll definitely watch that.
Yeah, it's pretty damn entertaining. I would definitely see that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what piece of advice can you give to any aspiring indie filmmaker regarding their films?
Don't be afraid to shoot your shot. I tell that to myself lately. I have a lot of social anxiety, and I have to tell myself that almost every time I send a message to anyone in regards to something I want to do in films or something I'm interested in. Getting into something is like a relationship. Just don't be afraid to shoot your shot. The worst they can say is no, or maybe they'll ignore you, but it's never a bad thing to see where things can go.
Absolutely, and you could be given a no, but you won't be getting that no if you don't ask. Because if you ask, you have a chance of getting a yes. If they say no, then it would have been a no if you didn't ask to begin with. So what?
Exactly.
So what lose? The worst they could say is no, and that's all they can say.
That's the best advice I can give. It's helped me so much.
Absolutely. So, what about people that want to get want to back Indiegogo campaigns? Any advice for them?
Yeah, actually, find something that speaks to you. There's so much out there right now, campaign-wise, especially in the last few months. It could really be hard to narrow down to something that's, especially if you're kind of stretched for money. Find something that speaks to you and share. Make sure that you, if you really love something, even if you don't have the money to donate or you can't find a perk that you want, if you share that to as many people as you can, to me, that's just as helpful as donating. Whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or any of the other social platforms, just getting the word out is just as important as donating.
Absolutely, and like you said, I mean, you might not have enough funds to donate, which is fine, but you have enough funds to share because that costs literally nothing, and your one share can lead to that Indiegogo campaign getting 5 new backers compared to the one from you. So it really does help out. And a lot of things people don't realize is, but isn't it, you should get a job and, work and, fund your move. It's not that simple. It is.
No, it's not
that simple.
I haven't, I'm not a filmmaker myself, but I've seen the process now. I've helped out so many campaigns with promotions, and I've had one-on-one conversations with the directors and the campaign leaders, and it is not easy, and my heart goes out to them. The projects that I back, I fully support, and whether it's just be sharing or donation, or if I can be a part of the project.
Absolutely, and we've had people donate to our smallest perk that is $5, and people that have donated to our largest perk that is $250. And each one of them, I don't care how small or how large the donation is and what perk you get, each one of them is accepted and is welcomed as much as every other perk. Like, we don't care how large or small you donate, we accept them all at the same, because every dollar helps, every share helps. From me as an indie filmmaker to Sam Hodge and Jonna, to Hayden Newman, Noelle Berger, Matt Burns and Matt Anderson and Tommy Toohey, all them indie filmmakers that that have these projects that are going to be great, but they can't get made. We're going to make 72 regardless if we meet our goal or not. We probably aren't going to meet our goal, and that's because our goal is $10,000, and we don't think we're going to get that. That's what we wanted to be at. But even if we're at, I think, almost $3,000 or something like that. But even if we made $1,000 or if we made $5,000, it doesn't matter what it is. We're still going to make the movie. And some people are able to do that. Other people are not. It depends what you have involved, special effects wise, and like what you have involved, mechanical wise, like if you have like these big, monsters that you got to make that are mechanical, or, you don't know, but every ounce helps, and we accept every donation because it's not like you're not getting anything in return. You're going to get a perk no matter what the campaign is. Like, unless you donate without a perk, you can do that as well, but you're still going to get something in return when the movie is done. And I love helping indie films out, and I donate, and then seeing my name on the big screen as a thanks at the end credit like that. Just something so small like that makes us like, oh, now I'm going to donate to that one and to that one and to that one, because I get to see myself in all of these, in these end credits. And that's really cool. It's a cool feeling to see your name right on the big screen.
Oh, yeah.
Really
the first campaign I ever donated to was a movie called Death Count, which hasn't come out yet, but I believe I just chose something as simple as like I believe it was like a poster and a thank you, a special thanks. And from there, I just kind of, started searching around, and it was really cool to see all the different projects. And, I never knew anything about online campaigns or crowdfunding before until then. And so just getting the word out that there is, indie campaigns out there is a big deal.
Absolutely. And before I get into the last question, just want to let everybody know also that that for Indiegogo, you don't have to just donate to, indie films. There's like thousands of campaigns out there, millions of campaigns out there for all other things that people need help with, whether it's, medical bills or, indie films or indie music or, getting a book published, or, they want to be an entrepreneur and they need the stuff to make their invention. So go out there and look at the Indiegogos, and there's also other things like GoFundMe. Now, Indiegogo, I believe, is the only campaign that you can do perks on. Maybe Kickstarter as well.
Kickstarter you can as well, but I think it works a little bit differently on Kickstarter. Okay. You donate like a certain dollar amount, and then you get everything. Like if you donate like $100, you also get the $50 perk and the $30 perk. Everything that kind of leads up to that amount or something. Okay. It's set up a little bit more weird.
Yeah, and I know that with Indiegogo, the best thing about that, which I like about it, is that it allows you to do a fixed, campaign or a flexible one. So a fixed one means if we have 10,000 on ours, so if we have to raise 10,000, if we don't raise 10,000, then everybody gets refunded. Whereas flexible, which is what ours is actually flexible, which means whatever we make, we get, because we can make the movie without reaching our ultimate goal. And that's one thing that Indiegogo has that all the other, campaigns don't, which I really am glad about, because who would want to do an all or nothing? You know what I mean? You would have to really set I guess it makes it so you can set a realistic goal. But if you really need $5,000 and you don't make $5,000, you don't get anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last question I do got for you, do you have any other projects that you are a part of that you would like to let the listening and the viewing audience know about?
I have a few, but one particular one I'd like to mention, just because I know that we're trying to get the word out more. Seasons, which is a horror anthology. It stars Lisa Wilcox of Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5. It's got Eric Freeman of Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. We've got Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp. We've got Diana Prince from the Last Drive-In fame, who's also going to be in the film. We also do have Reggie Bannister and Cleve Hall, the late Cleve Hall. And this will be their, obviously, Cleve Hall's final film because he passed away recently. And Reggie Bannister's final film. He's not passed away, but this will be his final film, according to the director.
Okay. Wow. Awesome.
And we'd like to do them proud. And we'd like to see more people join in on the campaign and spread the word.
Right. Now, what are you doing in Seasons?
I'm just a background extra. Okay. I'm not sure what the extent of my role is on that one just yet. I'm still in talks with the people in the movie to see what all I can do. But I'm not. Filming starts later on this year, and if we can get more people looking at the campaign, we can get started rolling faster and
awesome.
Get it kicked off.
Absolutely. Sounds like a plan. Well, I thank you, Daniel, for joining me, and I thank you even more for donating our 72 Indiegogo campaign. I truly appreciate that. It's really appreciated. It definitely hasn't gone unnoticed. We obviously gave you a shout out. I gave you your IMDb special thanks credit already. What perk did you get again, if I may ask?
I don't recall what it was named, but it was a role in the film.
Okay, so
I don't recall what the name of it was though.
I think that's one. Carl's actually working that in currently. Your character. And I think there's 2 people that donated that we're working in character wise yet. So I thought that was what it was, but I couldn't remember off the top of my head. So definitely check out Daniel, and obviously look for him in Seasons and Cult of Blood. The Hag Witch, and obviously 72. But I thank you again, Daniel, for joining me. It's been an honor.
Thank you so much.
Great. And you have a good rest of your day, and drive safely to your vacation.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. You have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Yep. Bye.